The Subcommittee on Oversight and Accountability will come to order. The purpose of this hearing is to examine the fiscal year 24 State Department Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Accessibility budget. And I now recognize myself for an opening statement. What we are discussing is the budget of the office that is essentially the filter for all hiring and retention at the State Department, the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility. I believe that this office has a clever name that uses strong emotional words, diversity, equity, inclusion, but functionally does the opposite of what America has always stood for, which is very simply the best man, the best woman for the job. And I believe that because of what I've heard from this office, what I have read from this office, and what I hear about this office from employees at the State Department, that instead of simply looking for the best man or woman for the job, this office is giving people the impression, or given many people outside of the State Department the sense that it is looking for a preferred race, or at minimum not white, that it is looking for a preferred religion, or at minimum not Christian, or that it is looking for a preferred sexual orientation or identity, or at minimum not straight male. This office tries to justify what I have literally heard people call bigotry by saying the State Department needs to look more like America. Let me be clear in my beliefs. No part of our government, including the State Department, should look any certain way. It should reflect hard work, loyalty to America, patience, willingness to sacrifice, a sense of duty, consistency, honor, discipline, confidence. Those are the traits that all hiring should be based on. To hire or not hire, to promote or not promote, based in any part upon appearance is wrong and un-American. Before Joe Biden was sworn into office, before he was even elected, he made the decision that he would hire based on race, gender, and sexual orientation. He said, "I'll appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court." He pledged, "I commit that I will pick a woman to be vice president." There's nothing wrong with appointing a black woman to the Supreme Court or as a candidate for vice president. But there is something fundamentally wrong by saying, if you look Latino, if you look Asian, if you look Native American, if you look white or male, then you need not apply. My life has been heavily influenced by my time in combat. Thank God that we did not have a DEI officer in my platoon. The only requirement every day was to be the best. And if you weren't, then you go back to the needs of the Army. It was that simple, and we ranked among the United States Army's most effective, committed, and lethal forces. And I could say that about my colleague to my left as well. Today we have before us Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the State Department. Ma'am, I believe that your office is mandating division within the State Department. I could spend the next 2 hours sharing the statements that you've made or that your office has made, but I'm going to give just a couple of the highlights. Diversity includes everything. The purpose is not simply to put another group at the top of the pyramid, but visible diversity is necessary, but insufficient. Another quote, "This is a European-American burden to get rid of this poison." Another quote, "We have to call spades spades, primarily European-American men. That is who have the vast majority of senior positions, and that does not come about through merit." Another quote, "When you're putting together panels of officers to consider for positions, that list better be diverse." You said that we need to try to level the playing field to get more candidates from a wider variety of backgrounds. State Department, as a result, has decided to do away with the requirement to pass the Foreign Service Officer test. You literally do not have to pass the FSO test to become an FSO. I would ask somebody to name to me another profession where you can fail the qualifying exam and still get the job. By the way, I have read practice FSO tests, and the information questioned and given in there is not unimportant information. In my opinion, you have made diversity, or as I will call it, identity, a core precept for Foreign Service officers that is equal to their ability to demonstrate leadership. So leadership is as important as how you identify. You've decided that a key factor for promotion at the State Department is how well an individual falls in line with that agenda. If an employee uses the wrong pronouns, good luck getting promoted. Instead, you're going to get a mark on your record. The supporting information of this, it's stated in the DEIA strategic plan, saying this: establishing the advancement of DEIA as an element for all employees as a part of their job performance criteria, their career advancement opportunities, and senior performance pay. That's DEIA as an element for all employees. Ma'am, I know that you want good people working for the State Department, but to require that those good people first look a certain way, it's not what I fought for. It's certainly not what I have friends of any color that have died for. And in that, I look forward to hearing your comments in response to what I brought up and what other members of this committee will bring up. In that, I would like to recognize